I didn't. I had coffee. That's it.
Coffee. Okay.
Yeah. What'd you?
Feeling good?
I think I'm okay.
I had oatmeal.
Love the oatmeal.
Yeah.
What are you putting in?
Oh, this is actually really kind of sick and gross, but I'm having a baby boy in March, so I can use that as an excuse. But I put Trader Joe's cookie butter on top of the oatmeal.
Not gross. That sounds awesome, and I know exactly what that is. My daughter is a huge fan of that. And,
she's a good woman.
That's really good.
Yeah. Cookie butter goes on everything. Yes, it does, Gwen. Apples. Good idea.
Oh, somebody's on already.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I thought we were alone.
I will do your introduction in a minute, the official. But we'll just chit chat for a minute here.
Yeah, sure. Everybody. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Chris.
To the chat room.
Phil, do you have a Peloton?
No, but I have an Airdyne standing bike with the arms. There's no tougher workout than that.
Oh, that's.
And I do like a 4-minute Tabata thing. A couple times a week. You know what that is, right?
Yes, that's
20
really
seconds
hard.
as hard as you can. 10 seconds rest. 8 times.
That's
by the second time I want to die. And then I have 6 more times I still have to do it. It is the longest 4 minutes of your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
do you have a Peloton?
I do. I was going to ask you your username, but I don't have one, so
I'm
I can't
sorry,
find you.
I don't.
Yeah.
But you can always find me here.
Yeah. Okay, I'll let people keep joining, but we have we're over 100 now, so we're gonna go start. Hi, everyone. Lots of chatting. So welcome to Afar Live. I'm so thrilled to be here today with 2 incredible people. We wanted to do something more fun and inspirational this week, a week away from the election, less now. The second person will be an amazing executive coach and former Google exec named Amy Jin. But the first person we have right now is Phil Rosenthal, star of Netflix's Somebody Feed Phil, where you travel around the world and eat food and meet people. And that's the gist, right?
I'm not quite as amazing as the Google person.
I disagree. I think you're kind of on equal ground, but it's the content we need right now. And I mean, did you ever think that you would play this bigger role in people's mental health during the lockdown for the show?
Oh my goodness, no. I've told this story many times, but stop me if you've heard it. By the way, my wife, I got this from a friend of mine. He said his wife has a signal for when he's told the story before, when they have people over, she'll go like this. That means he's already told it one time before.
I like that. Not very subtle.
Like this. We've heard this now 2 times.
Yeah.
Right? It's like baseball signals. So stop me if you've heard this, people. But when I was making Everybody Loves Raymond, I asked Ray Romano where he was going on his vacation. And he said he was going to the Jersey Shore. And I said, that's nice, New Jersey, but have you ever been to Europe? And he goes, no, I'm not really interested in other cultures.
Wow.
And so the light bulb went off. I said, we got to do that episode where we send you there with that attitude.
Yeah.
And we send you back with my attitude after you've been transformed. And sure enough, we did that episode. I wrote that very storyline. But he, the actor, my friend, Ray, got woke when he was there. Yes, he got the magic of travel. He understood how it changes your life, how it changes your perspective, how glorious somewhere else can be.
Yeah.
Right?
So even if
it literally opens your mind. And then I thought, this is awesome. I'd love to do this for other people. So this is beyond my wildest dreams that anyone, first of all, watches. But the best compliment that I could get is people telling me that they've been to the places from the show, that they've actually traveled because of the show. I couldn't love that more.
Well, I love that. I actually went to Fortnum and Mason and got the cookies you love from the show.
Oh!
So
eat one right now. Show the people.
I know, to get very
eat one
prepared.
right now.
But then I'll have Okay, I'll take a bite. But while I take a bite, can you tell me, I mean,
have you had one yet?
I did. I mean, they're amazing. They're amazing. And you can order them. Everyone who's listening, you can order them. That's the dark chocolate coated chocolate pearl biscuits.
The
So
word pearl makes it, doesn't it?
it does.
Yeah,
But
that's
so,
very
I mean,
good.
you did found Everybody Loves Raymond, and so that gave you an amazing life, and you could have just sat around and done nothing, right? So, I mean, all of us who make these big and small changes throughout our careers, even if we love our jobs, were you scared to do another thing, or did you know you could do it?
Well, first of all, how's that cookie? Show them the
Amazing.
inside. It's fun. I love the British because they say chocolate pearl biscuit, but here in America, it's just chocolate chips.
Exactly. It's the best one you'll ever have. It's really
But
good.
but chocolate pearl, and then the quality of the chocolate
Yeah.
around it. I mean, you would just eat a bar of that chocolate, right?
They don't skimp on the chocolate here.
No, they don't skimp on the chocolate.
No.
That's why it's worth. It's a little pricey,
It
right? That box,
£9.95.
but to
So
ship it to the U.S.
yeah, that I don't know.
It,
I'm lucky to be here.
yeah, they don't have. Where were you from originally?
I was from New York originally.
You lucked out.
Yeah.
See, you're living the dream too. That's what I think. I was living the dream getting to do this show. So after Raymond was over, it's not that I wanted to sit around and do nothing just because you can. What do, right? You got to get up in the morning. So I kept trying to do sitcoms. I thought that's what I was going to do. Why wouldn't I think that? That's what everybody else wanted me to do. That's what the agents want you to do, and the studios, because that's the money.
Yeah.
But guess what? I couldn't sell anything.
Hmm.
The business had changed so drastically from in the 9 years that we were doing Raymond that I could, everything was different. They didn't value that type of show anymore. That's true.
Hmm.
And the things they were offering me, I didn't want to do, to be fair.
Yeah.
And so I thought, if I'm banging my head against this wall of show business, why not pick this spot in the wall that I would really, really, really love? So I've now combined everything I know about how to tell a story, how to make a show, and it's in the service of everything else I love in life: family, food, friends, travel, laughs.
Yeah.
That's this show.
Yeah. It just makes people feel good.
It makes me feel good. It
Yeah.
makes me feel good to make you guys feel good. It's everything I could possibly want in the world.
Yeah.
And so I want to keep doing it. I want to, and I could even do it during COVID. I could find a way we could do Somebody Feed Phil al fresco.
Yes,
We
exactly.
eat outside and be safe. You can still explore other cultures and other cuisines and restaurants and people in your own town,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Because there's diversity everywhere, and that's to be celebrated, and that's all the show is.
So, and I mean, are you really that like? Would your wife and kids say you are that positive as well? Like who you come across as on the show?
Yes, they would say I'm annoyingly so.
Yeah.
Because imagine this in the house with you all day.
Yeah.
That's not, people don't like that.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I know. They listen, I'm a person. I get annoyed. We get angry. We fight. Why did you put this in the coffee maker? You broke it now. That's
Daily
typical.
life. Yeah.
Yes, daily life.
Yeah.
And so we're just regular people. What you're seeing on the show is actually me, though, but I have to admit, you're seeing me very happy
Yeah.
because I'm doing what I love,
Yeah.
right? You're not seeing me talk to an accountant about my taxes,
Right.
right?
I'm
Which
sure
I'd
you
be
do
like
as
this.
well. Yeah. That's what I avoid all year long.
So you're
Yeah.
seeing me getting to what? Travel, meet beautiful people, eat beautiful food, see beautiful things. That's
That's the dream.
that's the dream.
Well, so, I mean, and Afar too, I mean, we've always believed in travel as a force for good to make the world a better place. And you feature a diverse range of people. You're a big investor in restaurants. Like I've heard you compare it to the importance of the arts. And you and your wife are big philanthropists. Like, did traveling change the focus of your philanthropy or of you wanting to do
Good
good?
question. Yes, I try to help. I haven't admitted this before, but I try to help every place I go. I leave a little something for some organization that I found,
Yeah.
because I feel like, first of all, I'm very, very lucky. And it's, I think, good karma
Yeah.
to do that, right? At the very least. And second, I love being in the position that I can help a little.
Yeah.
And so it's only good if you can share it. That's my whole attitude, right?
Yeah.
And it comes from the micro to the macro. If you see the show, you see me take a couple bites and then I want to share it with the crew.
Yeah.
Right? It also saves me from eating too much, but that's selfish. The real joy is in seeing a camera guy's face light up when he gets to, because I see him looking like this.
Yeah.
And we have, a lot of people there, and I'm the only one eating. That's no fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. Yes, it's delicious. Great. But it's only fun if you can share it.
Yeah.
So we do that on every level. We do that especially locally where we live here in Los Angeles. There's a famous saying, think globally, act locally.
Yep.
Because that's how you affect change around the world. And if everybody acted locally, then globally things would change, right?
Yeah.
So that's the idea. And I invest in restaurants because I'm not very bright.
Not a
it's a stupid investment. It's a stupid investment for money, but it's a great investment for your heart, your soul, your belly, your community.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you're doing
right now, restaurants, they're in danger of closing, right? For good. Many, many independent restaurants, meaning all the restaurants we love that are not chain restaurants like McDonald's and Burger King. And if we're not careful, everybody, that's all that's going to be left.
Yeah. It's scary right now.
Very.
Yeah.
So we support. I do takeout every day, literally every day, either lunch or dinner or both. Because I don't want to live in a world without restaurants.
No, me neither. Yeah. And I want to get back to that restaurant feeling when you walk in and it's just, it is like its own little show, right? I mean, you feel like
it's theater. Yeah. It's your entertainment. It's your social life. Yeah. It's your sustenance.
Yeah.
It's my joy.
Yeah.
When I go out, I'm transported.
I mean, well, you've talked about a lot before, the best advice you've ever been given. Can you tell the people here what that was or what that is?
When I was writing the pilot for Everybody Loves Raymond, I asked an old showrunner, creator of famous sitcoms, for some advice. And he said this: do the show you want to do, because in the end, they're going to cancel you anyway.
I love that.
This not only is great advice if you're writing something that's yours, but it's a philosophy of life, right?
Yourself.
Do the show you want to do, because we're all going to get canceled one day, right?
Yeah.
So live your life the way you want to live it. That's very important, and make the most of it.
You might get canceled a few times, I guess. I'm sure you've been canceled. Oh my God, I was listening to an old interview with you and you said you'd been a security guard at the Metropolitan Museum of Art and you got fired. Yes. And then you used that story later to put in something that you wrote, right?
I wasn't just fired for, normal reason.
Yeah.
I was fired because I was guard at one point from midnight to 8 a.m, what they call the graveyard shift. And I thought I could handle it. I was 21. I thought I could stay up midnight to 8 a.m. And it turned out I couldn't. And they found me asleep on a 300-year-old bed. A period room, from the American Old West.
Amazing. It's an amazing story. But you were canceled from the museum and and you moved on.
But I used that story in my first script sample to send around Hollywood. I wrote a Roseanne episode with a friend of mine, and we didn't know what to write about. And this is, I'm talking about 8 years later.
Yeah.
He said, what if the John Goodman character got a second job at the local museum and he falls asleep on a 300-year-old bed? And people read this script and said, what an imagination. And we got hired.
Who would ever do that?
You never know where your break is coming from. You never know what life experience, as horrible as it is at the time, may serve you later.
Yeah.
And I tell all the young writers out there to write stuff down, keep a journal every day, because you never know when that might come in handy. You don't have to show it to anybody. It's just for you.
Yeah.
And excuse me. And the stuff you think is nothing today, 2 months from now, you may look back and go, that's funny, or
Yeah.
that's interesting, and may become something. And it's easier to write things down than to write,
Yes.
to have to think of crap to put down, right?
Yeah.
So just write down what happens in your thoughts. All that separates, you from me, what differentiates us is your life experience that's filtered through the way you think,
Yeah.
which makes everybody's point of view valid.
That's what I say to travel writers too, and travel agents and people, everyone's like, well, everyone's been to Paris. I'm like, yeah, but you haven't written your story about Paris, right?
Exactly. Because it's how you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we did a New York episode and it was so intimidating. I didn't know. I wanted to make the definitive episode. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
For New York, right? And I realized right away, I can't do the definitive episode, but I can do mine.
Phil episode. Yeah. Well, so, and tomorrow, I mean, I wanted to talk about what's coming out tomorrow because I'm very excited. It's Rio de Janeiro, Hawaii.
Yes. You've been there?
I've been to Rio. Yeah. I'm obsessed.
I mean, what's more spectacular?
We took my 7-month-old daughter at the time.
Wow.
Hawaii, San Francisco, and the Mississippi Delta. And Singapore was the one I wanted to ask you about because that's where I really want to go. I've never been. And I feel like you can get culture and nature, and I want to stay at the Raffles, and I want to see the airport. And so I was going to ask you, it's called the City of the Future. Did you see that? Because I think we all need some future thinking right now.
Yes, great.
And what did you love eating there too, of course?
It's set in the jungle, a tropical jungle. And the most modern city on earth has erupted from the jungle. So right away, it's super cool. And I mean, the values of the most cutting edge, gorgeous architecture, like you can't believe it. There are buildings, skyscrapers, where nature is incorporated, trees and things are growing all up and down the building. Or that airport with the world's largest indoor waterfall running right through the center of it. It's spectacular. You think you're in, like Disney's got nothing on this place, right? I mean, it is world of tomorrow. You're seeing, it's genius. It's a tropical climate and they've built underground, like amazing cities.
Wow.
Where it's temperature controlled and gorgeous and great. And you don't feel like you're underground. You feel like you're in the most fabulous kind of environment. It is an amazing, amazing place. And the food culture there is the culture. You've rarely seen a place that's so food centric. And it incorporates all the like greatest hits of Asia and Malaysia all together, right?
I love
it's a mishmash of everything good.
Did you watch Crazy Rich Asians before you went, or?
I had seen it, yes. And one of the stars of the movie is in the show with me.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Oh,
she plays one of the moms. Yeah. She's fantastic. Yeah.
I can't wait to watch that. And did you stay at the Raffles? Because we have a lot of hotel lovers on this call. So.
Hotel lovers, we're talking about one of the best hotels in the world, and I got to stay there. That's one of the great perks, of the thing is I get to try a hotel that I've always wanted to stay at. How do you not stay there? Oh, we have a big scene there because at the Raffles Bar is, what they invented?
The Singapore Sling.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I got to make one.
Yeah.
They have the coolest cocktail shaker in the world. I won't say what it is, but you'll see it. It's worth seeing the whole show just to see their cocktail shaker. There's
the teaser for the show. That's good. Well, and I was going to ask you too. Everyone asks you about food, but I want to know about hotels because what are some other hotels?
I love talking hotels. Nobody ever asked me about the hotels.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Where do you love? What are some of your favorite hotels?
That's one of them. When we did the Bangkok episode in Thailand, there's a hotel in Chiang Mai, because we went to Chiang Mai as well in that episode, called the Dara Devi.
Oh yeah, I've stayed there.
And
yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like you're in The King and I. And did you have your own house?
Yes.
They gave us a house. Each person got a house.
Why not?
A house with 2 stories, full kitchen, a piano, like I need a piano, and upstairs, a balcony with a hot tub, out the back, your own private swimming pool for yourself, like it's your house. And then the rice paddies with the water buffalo. I mean, crazy. It's crazy gorgeous, that place.
A great breakfast buffet. I don't know if they'll still have it now.
Yes, and then you ride your bike around, and the front of the hotel, the public spaces, they look like the King and I Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, spectacular. So that's one of the great ones.
What about Italy? I know you love Italy.
Oh, hotels in Italy. Well, I love the Cyrenus on the Amalfi Coast, and I've stayed at the what's the other famous one down the road a bit?
Ravello?
Ravello's gorgeous. I've never stayed there, but the Villa Cimbroni is like a wish list place that I want to go. Oh, I stayed at the Villa Treville, I think it's called, the Villa of Three Villas, that was owned by Zeffirelli.
Yeah.
And it was turned into a spectacular hotel. Have you been there?
I haven't been there. No.
That's worth going. In Venice, the Gritti Palace, spectacular, right?
Yeah.
The Four Seasons in Florence, spectacular.
That's amazing. I love how it's just set off enough that you can get away from the crazy.
Yep, but an easy walk into town, right?
Yeah.
So many. There's so many. But I've loved bed and breakfasts too.
Yeah.
But when I had no money on my first trip to Florence, I was 23 years old. I stayed at the Pensione Annalena on the Oltrarno, the other side of the less touristy side of, near the Pitti Palace. It was down a side street. And it was just this, you walk up, but this quaint little room with a little garden. You're in Italy. It doesn't matter. You don't have to spend a lot of money.
I agree.
You can literally go anywhere and be so happy.
Yeah, I agree. I think at a great hotel that obviously costs more money, it's its own, experience, right? And I think nothing bad ever happens at a great hotel. But you can definitely, and family-run B&Bs too are really, really amazing too.
Yeah, and same in Paris. I've stayed at little bed and breakfast, little places like that where the bathroom is down the hall. When you're a kid, when you're in your 20s, you could do anything. Doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And then when you get to be an old man, you want to stay at the George Cinq.
Yeah.
Or the Plaza Atene.
A little pickier. You've earned it though.
But yeah, well, I like you've seen the show. I'm only picking places as I start. We've only done like 22 of these, right? So if my motivation is to get you to travel and you're hesitant to travel, 2/3 of Americans don't even have a passport, which could be why we're in the shape we're in, because I think the world would be better if we all could experience a little bit of other people's experiences and be a little more open-minded, right? That's what travel does for you. So if I'm trying to get you to travel and get your passport, I'm starting with what I think are Earth's greatest hits for you, meaning most people will speak English.
Yeah.
There will be food that you recognize if you've ever been to a restaurant. You won't have to sleep in a tree. There's going to be a hotel with a bed with a pillow, because that's the kind of, not Bourdain.
Yeah.
I'm old Jewish man, so that's what I like.
Well, and I think, even on your London episode, London is such a great introduction to Europe, right? It's Europe light. I think it's like if your first trip to Europe, I think London is a great place to come.
I think London, I call it the gateway drug to Europe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so, and you grew up not really traveling, and you said, not really eating well or adventurously, was that a thing for you? Like, I'm going to take my kids to places and instill in them a sense of curiosity.
Yeah, that's right. That was very important. And I recommend to people, if they're, where should I take my kid first? London's a very good place to take children, I think. But Venice, because the whole thing is It's a Small World ride.
Yeah.
They love the boats. So we took our kids, they weren't even 3 and 6 years old, and they loved every second of it. And I found that your kids will walk anywhere as long as it ends with pizza or gelato. And in Italy, it does.
That works for me too, actually. So.
Right, me too. And Ray Romano too.
Really?
He became crazy. Phil, did you try this gelato? Oh my God, we got to try this one. Yeah, I've had it. Yeah, and there's one across the street. Shouldn't we compare? Yes, we should, Ray. Let's go.
I love this. Someone just said, I'm getting emotional by seeing Phil's reaction. I miss passionate people. I agree. I mean, there has been kind of a dulling, hasn't there, a little bit, especially in travel because we've been so devastated.
Oh my God. Can I tell you something though? Here in America, I long for dull. Let's get back to dull, please.
Yeah. 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 And then we will travel again, right? I mean, I'm going to ask you, everything.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Passion in a good way, not the I'm getting punched in the face way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Love, and peace, and food and hugs. We need to get back to these things.
Yeah. Well, and of course, I mean, the media perception is always so different than what you see on the ground, right? I mean, it's worlds apart. And so that's why I worry about closed borders, right? Because I think it can become so nationalistic, right? That you're, I mean, the borders have now been closed for 7 months or whatever it is, a very long time. But I mean, you've of course seen that, right? Have you seen, I mean, with your kids, or have you seen how it just opens people up traveling?
Here's what I think. This may be politically incorrect to say, but everywhere I go, most people around the world are so much better than their governments.
Yeah. That's so true.
We're all people. We all love to eat. We all want our children to grow up happy and healthy.
Yeah.
We all love music. We all love laughs, right?
Yeah.
We love to be welcoming and to be welcomed. This is life. And why have it any other way?
Yeah. And that's
right?
why it's so important to take that trip.
And so many people are so good-hearted. You're going to see the Mississippi Delta show tomorrow, okay? I thought I was going into deliverance. I didn't know what I was going into. I thought I was going to go land of rednecks. That's the stereotype.
Yeah.
It was the opposite. It was so eye-opening and so beautiful the way everyone gets along. But they don't talk about that in the news. They don't say, oh, the black people and the white people, they got together in the Mississippi Delta today. And you know what happened? They sat and had lunch like they do every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
it's conflict. So that's what they show you. So that's all you think, because that's all you've seen. So I'm here, people, to show you the other side.
I love that. And I've seen that too in places like Egypt or Turkey, or, all you see is the terrorist attack or whatever it is. And you go and you're like, these are the most amazing people. So
in Israel, it was very easy to find. I mean, I wanted to find this, but it wasn't hard. It was everywhere. Jews and Arabs getting along and interacting, celebrating each other's holidays. And here's a temple next to a mosque. That's the reality. People want to get along. They don't like fighting and dying. Who does?
Yeah, no, that's so true. No one wants that.
Yeah.
Well, and we only have a few minutes, so I'm going to do a lightning round for you.
Do it.
What are the terrible things about filming a travel and food show?
One time I got food poisoning.
Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
And it was in an American city, and you're going to see it tomorrow.
Okay. San Francisco? Okay.
Everywhere I've been. What a shock.
Yeah.
I don't know what place gave it to me. I went to go 3 or 4 places a day, right? So I don't know what happened, but that's the first time that's in the show.
That's horrible. You actually feel like you're dying. That happened to me in Cambodia. Yeah. What shows have you watched while being home so much?
Well, everything on Netflix, like everybody else. There's a rumor that Netflix started COVID.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
Because business is great for Netflix.
Very well. Yeah.
I love so many shows. I really do. If you have to name something, I'll tell you if I've seen.
Oh, The Crown.
Well, yeah, gorgeous. Yeah.
I watch like Hallmark Christmas movies, so I'm not the best person
Nice.
to talk to. What is the scariest food you've ever eaten? Was it the pig's head that came in through an Instagram question?
That's not unscary, but I don't go for the part like once you're a foodie, you start to learn that the cheek is always great, so you go for that. I'm not going for the eye. I'm not even munching on the ear. I'm not, I'm adventurous to a point. right? And I have to say, I do get a little more adventurous the more shows we do. You can't help it.
Yeah. How's your dad doing?
He's great. He's 94. He's in every episode, and he tells an amazing joke in every episode.
He's hysterical.
He's the star of the show.
Yeah. And your mom passed away, unfortunately.
She did a year ago tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
But they've had a long love story and fighting, I guess. Does your dog Murray?
A lot of laughing. Our house was either yelling or laughing.
Yeah. Passion. That's good. Does Murray, your dog, you do a daily Murray photo, does he eat your takeout?
We keep him away from people food. You're supposed to keep him away from people food or they'll never leave you alone. He already is like, hey, what do you got today? Hey, what? But, I learned this great thing from a trainer. Dog people, when you get your food for dinner, when you're about to sit down for dinner, you have a Kong. You know what a Kong is? Yep. It's that little spherical thing, hard rubber. You keep them in the freezer with some dog food in it. Okay, so it's a frozen like a dogsicle. You give that to the dog when you eat your dinner. The dog starts to know, I'm getting my treat. They're doing their thing. I'm getting my treat. It can't wait. And he doesn't bother you while you're eating.
And it's dog food. That's actually a really good tip.
Good tip.
You're also a dog trainer. Who knew?
I had a lot of time during COVID. We got Murray the first day of the lockdown, right? I got Murray March 15th. And that was he saved us. He was a rescue pup and he saved us because he's a source of constant love and joy. And we have all this time to train and bond with and love this dog.
Amazing. He's getting big.
He's huge. Yeah. 55.
Of all the show cities, I'll ask you a couple more. Of all the show cities, which is the one you would love to relocate to, if only temporarily?
There's a lot. I got to tell you, there's anywhere in Italy would be fine with me.
Yeah.
Copenhagen, I found, was an amazing kind of utopian society. Lisbon may be the world's most underrated place. You know it?
I love it. Yeah.
Spectacular, right?
Yeah. I love Lisbon. I miss Lisbon. I love Madeira too. I went there in early March.
You've probably been a different place than me.
Where are you going first that isn't California?
I guess New York.
New York.
I haven't been there, and I have family there, and my dad is, in Jersey now. But he came to visit us last week.
Oh,
he flew him out. Yeah, we made him all COVID safe and everything. Got him here, gently. He stayed with us a week. To kind of a test to see if maybe he'd want to come. Said, maybe I'll come back when it gets colder in New York, and it looks like it's starting.
Getting colder. Yeah. Does anyone know how we can contact Phil? You have your website, right? It's Phil Rosenthal World, or what is it?
You always DM me at phil.rosenthal on the Instagram.
The Instagram.
Yes.
So we're just waiting for the panelists to join. Do you mind staying on 2 more minutes until she shows up?
I'll stay as long as you love. What's my next thing? Let me look at my thing. The show starts tomorrow, so I'm on kind of the publicity tour.
Exactly.
No, I'm good. You're good.
Just like
I love talking to you. You're great.
You're great. So, okay, where is she? Well, what are you ordering tonight?
Very good question. What do I feel like tonight? Maybe Italian, since we mentioned Italy.
Or fish and chips.
Love that too. I love everything. I've gained a lot of weight since COVID. More weight than on the show. Because on the show, I'm running around and I'm not eating unless it's in a scene. And I don't finish anything in a scene. And here, I'm not running around. I'm sitting in front of the television and I can devour a bag of potato chips.
Yeah.
While I do that. And that turns out, this is a health tip, not so good.
Well, you just feel gross, don't you?
I feel great while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
It's almost like an OCD. Yeah. TV's on. Am I alone in this? Just I have to. It's almost like it's an unstoppable force is driving my hand to the chips or the cookies or the nuts or the thing. And then I weigh myself in the morning. What did you do, you moron?
Yes. Kettle chips are the best. I hate Pringles. I feel really gross with Pringles. But there was a question, is there a destination that is still on his list that is not an episode yet? Well, we were just talking about Switzerland.
Absolutely. I can't wait to go there. I was in Zurich once. I thought that was gorgeous. And of course, you know, there's so many, the Alps are there, people. Did you know that?
Yeah.
and where do I, oh, India. I haven't been to India yet. In my life, I haven't been.
Yeah.
I've been to Australia once, only Sydney, for a film festival. So we got to do Australia on the show. We got to do New Zealand on the show. That's one of the world's most beautiful places, right? I hear.
Absolutely.
Right? So I want to go. Shanghai, I haven't been yet. There's so many things.
There she is.
Hi.
Hi.
Look at her background. Wow.
Yeah.
Your background, Amy, is so much better than mine.